Hello, everyone. Ashley Stamatinos here. Thank you so much for joining me. I have such a special treat for you today. I'm here with my friend Aliky. Welcome, Aliky.
Thank you, Ashley. Beautiful to see you this morning. Thank you.
I'm so grateful that Aliky is joining me today, and I have so many questions for her. She and I actually sort of put this together really quickly recently because she has some really amazing things to share right now, some wonderful transformational work that she's offering the world. And I said, will you please come on a video with me so I could help you to get the word out and share this with everyone. I'm so excited. So Aliky, will you share with everyone a little bit about you and about the transformational work that you provide to the world so they know who you are and what you do?
Thank you. So hey, my name's Aliky, and my business sort of website, whatever is coachwithaliky.com, and the spelling of my name is ALLIKY, and we're both fellow Greeks, so pardon me if we just start giggling away. There's such familiarity, but look, thank you, Ashley, for bringing me on, and for you listening and watching here, and hopefully if there's anything that I may touch upon that might resonate with your heart, is that, you know, now's the time to really start to emerge and awaken your gifts and your greatness if you really feel that calling to do that. And this isn't just a moment of now, but this is why you're here. And part of what I do is I love to help people who help people. I love to empower people with the tools, folks that are, you know, business professionals, entrepreneurs, highly conscious seekers, spiritual seekers, so that you can align with your divine soul blueprint and actually emerge your greatness, right? And fulfill that mission that you somewhat feel you're here to do. And I love helping people actually achieve their desired outcomes, right, in all areas of their life, so that you're enlivened, enlightened. And that's basically the undercurrent of everything that I do, so that you can be really whole and really you, and basically realize your soul in this realm and integrate, you know, the spirituality with your gifts and your talents. And that's what I love to help people do. So I've got this this program that I'm offering at the moment because of the many years. I'm going to give my age away, but I'm definitely in my 40s, and I've spent over 24 years in corporation, as well as in parallel in the esoteric studies, because it became like a parallel career. You can look me up, but basically the program is to heal stress, the root cause of stress, and to break through burnout.
Yeah.
On a mastery level. This isn't just, oh, let's pick one block and then let's move it through. And this is deep. This is on all levels. This is above, below, and so within, and your reflection becomes without. Because what I really would love for folks to really truly realize is that no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love, but there is very specifically something you're here to do. And if you're feeling that by listening to me, it's that soul bliss activation that we have, that we hold. And that's what I love to do. So thank you for asking. And that's basically the encapsulation of what I'm offering, because it's time, you know, it's not just one area of explosion and then the rest suffers. It's, let's just be really whole and emerge that.
And it's been time for a while, don't you think?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, you know, Aliky and I have spoken on video, you know, quite a few times now. Sometimes we just chat friendly as friends, and other times it's we interview each other. We've been back and forth doing this for a couple years now, and it's so interesting, the energy of where we are in life is so different every time we get on the videos. You know, I remember the first time we got on, I was like, whoosh, like we were both like so high energy. And right now it's so centered, relaxing, soothing. Like I see you closing your eyes a little as we chat, and I keep putting my hands on my heart. It's like such a different energy. It's just so amazing. And I think for all of you who are listening, you know, when you're seeking greater consciousness and to enliven yourself and to live more and to become more whole, you'll find it. You keep ebbing and flowing and shifting. Things change so quickly. Wouldn't you say?
Totally. And I love that you said that more quickly. And like you said too, because I think, you know, Ashley, you and I, it's just like, I know you, like there's a soul recognition, and I see that. And that's partly where I really do. I just see that vision that you may have, you know, whoever is listening, and then I help get there. But you know, Ashley and I, we both do our work, and we have our gifts, as well as you know, listening. May you do your work too. And it's just getting together with like-minded souls and hearts just to emerge that. Because when you're a healthy, thriving cell and you can be with others, you just, you know, and multiple, you just seem to enliven and enlighten that knowledge and that seeing. So you're seen, you're loved, and you're held. And actually, for sure, it's like and this is what we do. I think we embrace the truth is dynamic. You know, all the particles around us have the actual miraculous wisdom and knowledge of everything that we need right now in the cosmic consciousness around us, or the unified field if you're a scientist, you know. And actually, it's like we embrace the change, right? Totally. The truth is dynamic, and that's how we operate.
Absolutely.
And the peace comes within, because, you know, some folks might just choose to, you know, have one challenge which can become an opportunity, one after the next, but the level of truth that is dynamic, that is happening, if we stop and use our will or our mind or our emotion to buy into every single thing that's happening, it's going to become a disaster. It's going to be like overload. The surrender is when you drop into this heart and your souls and your purpose space, and you just roll with the truth, because the truth always reigns supreme, so to speak. And so I think that, you know, because I've known you probably about, what, a year and a half?
I mean, is that it? It feels like a lot longer.
But I think I've known you before. Is that it?
I think it might be correct, but it feels like a lot longer.
It does. And we also have the Greek origin and ancient background. But look, it's true. And I think that, I love that. Just embracing the change, but dropping in. And that peace, that joy, that contentment, that bliss, that's your temple's ability to experience on all levels and in what you do, so that you are and become the truth and the meditation that becomes your life and your sacred life. It's an honor, you know.
So one of the things that really attracted us to getting onto this call is this program that you have, that you're about to launch, basically. And so I'm wondering, what inspired you or led you to this specific topic? Because as we've spoken offline, this is something that almost everyone I know deals with stress. And so and a lot of people are dealing with, you know, a lot of things that go along with that, and the overwhelm. And so anyway, without me, you know, telling you all of the things that people around me are struggling with, what brought you to creating this offering?
Look, thank you. Beautiful questions. And look, one thing I've always had is this drive, like this Midas touch, right? Like whatever I touched and I did to a level of perfection or mastery, was just like a high achiever syndrome, or whatever I call it. Basically, through my experience being like a self-starter, a competitive gymnast, high achiever in sports, athletics, like music, school. Like, I mean, it's intense. Like, I embraced everything I could get my hands on, you know, to try. And then I took all of that into a career where all my, you know, like I kept up the yoga, and the esoteric studies started to come into my way. Like in my teens, it was like people give me these yoga DVDs. I'd be working at like some big department store or something, and it's that people give me angel things, and I'd be like, cool. And I've got this bouncy the energy, like this is me, this is what I'm like, you know, so I've got the energy. But what I really quickly realized when I went into like a corporate realm, I'd burn out because I'd be in my 20s, an expat in my 20s, flying overseas, flying all around the world, 5-star hotels, big corporate credit card, big accounts. I'm like this young person with this, like, I don't know, genius intelligence and helping people solve big real life multi-million billion dollar business issues. I'm a nerd, right? And basically having experience being in transition, moving country, athletics, academia, physical strain, being married, having a child, changing career multiple times, on the fast track to being groomed, just moving forward. I experienced burnout a lot. And what this enabled me to do is to be very colorful with my ability to adapt on a physical, musical, you know, emotional, environmental, nutritional level, to find that undercurrent, if it makes sense, of where is my joy, contentment, and values all aligned so I can streamline in flow. And versus going the up and downs and the backwards and forwards and the not good enough and performing, not performing, and the stress. And so the background I have is quite colorful, that gives me an ability to really work particularly with women. Men love my work, and they're usually the endurance athletes or the high performance corporate executive type who like that softness and that softness and that ability for me to help align them, because I'm like a spiritual healer and technician in the background. I keep you very aligned. So anyway, that's my background. That inspired me because I've met with thousands of women at this point, on stage, off stage, in leadership, mentorship, helping people drive their best career and also their best self. So when I see people, particularly women, who have such a quality deep within, start to lose that fire and that heart and that spark in their eye, you know, we want to catch that. Because if you've got the energy, you've got the power, you've got the will and the desire, and you're already helping people. They're usually, the women I work with are typically entrepreneurs, business executives, they're mothers, but they're also highly conscious spiritual seekers, but they've got the success in all these aspects of what we have at the physical plane here. But they've already been burnt out, and they're approaching it again at the expense of their relationships, their career, their money, and possibly even their health.
Totally.
And when it starts to take a toll on you like that, and you just know, you're like, I quit, like I'm done. This is when I step in, because they usually find me because nothing else has worked. And I hate to say that like that. It's like I love helping.
A lot of times.
You see? And I love to help the awareness, so you become more of your own guide. And you get to be you, more of you and a whole lot of you. And you have the awareness of the observation. And you know you're your own guide, because you're already guiding and helping others. You're a legend at helping others, but you want to just take yourself to that next level. I go higher, but that depth within, because you've reached that point in your career, you're in your 30s or 40s, possibly in your 20s, and you decide this is not for you, you're in your 50s, and you've gone to the top of whatever you've done. And there's this joy you're seeking within, and you know, the cars, the career, and the clothes don't do it anymore.
Right, absolutely. And I mean, a lot of what you've experienced with your burnout and the cycle of, I mean, you're also pulling from personal experience, it sounds like. So what
and
oh, go ahead, you wanted to say something?
And one last point, Ashley, I'm pulling from personal experience, because there's some really gifted souls and beings like you, Ashley, and like you listening here, because somehow you found Ashley. And there's something that resonates with you. And part of what I love to do again is help people who help people, because there's a yearning and a calling that can literally take that life force that you have, and that energy and that power and that knowledge, or that desire to help ever greater numbers of people in service.
Mm-hmm.
And be that, and just be that.
Be that.
For who you are.
She didn't say do that. She said be that. I want to point that out, because I think a lot of us, and tell me what you know about this. I think a lot of us are so focused on the doing that can lead to burnout. That can lead to stress. And we don't remember the importance and that's not the word I want to use. The strength in being sometimes can outweigh the doing.
That is the most beautiful statement ever. And I'm going to say this, and people might be like, oh my gosh, how, what? Yes, it's actually easier to be you. I'm going to say that again. When you give yourself permission to be you, especially as a woman, the power that you have within you when you're connected on all levels is so amazing. You're part of that co-creation energy. I mean, Ashley, you and I are also mothers.
Yes.
How did I do that? I was doing the grand organized design, source God's work at its finest, co-creating as a surrogate of heaven to earth. What a blessing. And then when there's women that can do that, and you be that, when you're doing, it's almost like your experiences within you. Things trigger without you, but you can't be in love outside of yourself. You can't have a relationship disappointment outside of yourself. You can't have a disaster or something leave you or something, a great dream that you had. There's something going on within you, and there's sometimes a level of self-love, compassion, and lessons in love versus a bad deck of cards of karma, and you want to cultivate your karma. And part of what I do by being me and helping people, because as a healer and a coach, one of the differences is that I have a unique ability to help you, but also to a degree mitigate the karma. That's why I don't take on the stuff, and I learned very quickly through the work and the studies. And it's a gift. That's why when people, want things, that it happens by being. And this isn't just like, let me teach you manifestation. You've got to be, see, think, and feel with all of your cells and affirm. This is the next level of soul. That is your perfection, because you were created. So I'll go to the beingness. I'll go next level, because I feel that this is something very important to say, is when you be, okay, you actually already are created as the soul, which is your perfection in existence.
Right.
To anchor that in and imbue your cells, your being, and hear that essence of you is how you find it when you be. Because when you're doing, it's very hard to hear and feel and see in your present moment with all of you in the here and now.
Right.
So when you can cultivate being you and more of you, and it's not being lazy or vulnerable or unsafe by not doing, when you just hear, the magic can happen by just you being that light for yourself and others, that downloads the information, your gifts, and then you can execute and actualize and orchestrate what you need to do. But it's so much less effort to be.
Yeah. And this is an oversimplification, and something I was getting from what you just said is that by being instead of doing, when you're allowing yourself to be you, that is a space you are more receptive purely just to receiving anything and everything. And we think that, we need to work hard to be able to receive more. And you're saying it's actually easier. It's the opposite. Being allows you to receive more, right?
So exactly. And let's just make a laugh out of it. It's almost like anything you ever thought. It's like turning it upside down, and of course, I'm do handstands. I'm like all over upside down half the time. But when you think of things the opposite way around, upside down, like turn yourself upside down. It's like blood rushes to the head. It's just some things that are just not working,
Right.
just won't work. Because if we've always done what we've always done, we'll always receive what we've always received. And as a woman in particular, and even for the men listening, I can be both, right? Like there's definitely a masculine polarity I love to embrace and complement with the male that I'm working with, but also the female. The art of receiving is also part of being the feminine polarity.
Absolutely.
You know, the I am in the soul hum, you know, the I, the knowledge, the power, and the wisdom, the masculine, but the feminine in the receiving, the co-creation. And even, you know, like energetically, when a woman bees and a woman's radiant, she's grateful, she's poised, she's in her heart. She's highly magnetic and highly attractive, and she's intuitive, and she just knows without knowing, has faith in her abilities, in her strengths, in her power, and she's powerful yet so serene and sublime. You know, it's beautiful to see. And you can embody and imbue yourself with your soul and your true nature and be all those things that we desire to be successful, to be healthy, to be light, to be loved, to love, and to enjoy our life, which is a journey here. And we all have that right. We all have that choice. And it's doing a little work. But yeah, the being, it's, you know, the do's outside and you got to do, I get that. You got to execute. But if you do that from a place of knowing, everything's so much more efficient. You become extraordinarily efficient. So
yeah, I like that. The doing is outside of yourself. I like how you said that. That makes a lot of sense. It puts a lot of puzzle pieces together, I think. So we only have a couple minutes left. Time is flying because I enjoy speaking with you so much. So before we finish up and you can share with everybody, you know, what's going on and what you're inviting them into, do you have any final words of advice or encouragement or motivation for any of the viewers out there who are feeling stressed and burnt out right
now? Absolutely. What I'd love to invite you to do is really confront and look at what is it that's really stressing you? What's going on in your heart, your soul, even in the mind, and how's it showing up? Because I invite you to start to open up, to love that part of you sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because we don't want that, almost like with the health, when I'm working with folks in health, there's like one thing going wrong here and then all of a sudden there's another domino effect because the resources are starting to getting pulled on. The body autonomically is such an amazing temple. It really can heal itself if it's got the right light, nurture and love and attention to root cause. So if you can really look at and journal down, just write it down, what it is that's stressing you. Start to pick up a pattern in it. Whatever is stressing you or causing the feeling of being unfortunate or not good enough or afraid of being in your power or causing and showing up in the body or relationships as some sort of stressor, there's an undercurrent of the layer of the essence of it. And this is beyond a belief, right? But you could label it a belief because it's not just happening once. You want to nip that in the bud and identify root cause and master it. But what I will say again, let's flip this conversation upside down.
Okay.
If something is stressing you, you've got the trait of it's actually the chart, right? Like not good enough, or it causes me to feel not good enough, or I feel betrayed. Ask yourself the opposite question. Well, if I'm not betrayed, what am I?
Oh, I love that. I'm very into questions. This is good.
Yeah, questions. The higher the quality of the questions, the higher the quality of your life, the more expansion you have versus contraction and resistance. Because resistance breeds, you know, more lessons in love. Let's be honest. If you're resisting what's coming, you're saying, I don't want to know about that. And it sort of passes past you, but it'll keep hitting you until you love and embrace both sides.
Right.
It's like a seed starts in the ground and it's in the dark. And if the seed was exposed, one, it wouldn't have the soil and the minerals to fertilize it with the water, and the sun might burn the seed too soon.
Yeah.
And there's always the darkness. So the lotus emerges from the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to my yogi side, but if there's an undercurrent of a trait, label the trait, please. Okay. And the aha moments will start, because it'll be, hey, what's the opposite of that? Well, where is the opposite happening in my life and in the form? The opposite trait is being expressed, because it's happening somewhere. Because once you make that negative and positive polarity whole, you're literally performing science right in front of you and opening up light, because you're eliminating cause and effect to neutralize light. I mean, to neutralize the charge to birth light. Next, quantum. When you see the trait, you label it, you say what the opposite one, you find where it's expressed. The next thing you do is you start to see gratitude and what you're grateful for as is, where it is, and as is in your life now. Because I guarantee you 1,000% of every conversation I'll have, if someone's got a trait they're experiencing triggered by somebody, person, place, or thing, typically a person, or a corporation, but usually a person, because there's a few of them. This didn't happen overnight. This started from young. And also, when you embrace that and you see that trait, there's a benefit to you and a payoff. Why? Because you wouldn't keep attracting it. And this is the hard conversation that we have sometimes, because you can find the blessing in disguise.
Absolutely.
The light always outshines the dark. You can always see light in amongst the dark. You just need to find that one bit of light and then find another bit of light. And you embrace both sides. That's the polarity. There's a duality here. So I'm not saying let's be positive. I'm saying embrace the perceived negative and the positive, and embrace the unseen, because there's hidden forces. And so hopefully that gives you actually an exercise that you can do. You'll have aha moments. Because remember, if something is also causing you mental, emotional, that can pass, because the mind is just a smaller frequency of what the heart really is.
Right.
And if you can lower the emotion into feeling it with all parts of your body, including grounding it, as I'm moving my hand down to the lower dantian and connected to Mother Earth that's here to support us, you're able to transmute your own crap, your own spiritual harmonizing intelligence truth to the
me to say that.
and leverage Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Because if you want to emerge more of your greatness, you want to master this stuff. Heal the stress. We find root cause. I help you subconsciously, astrologically, emotionally, physically, on a familiar level that keeps showing up. The karmic level. Well, what's the karmas doing? Past, present, future life. Sometimes a negative scenario can happen, but the positive effects on you are 100% positive. Yeah. And once you feel that essence come through you, because I hold that space and I do things with you as my client, the surrender happens and the lessons more rapid, more quick.
Yeah, and it's a quick change. Well, listen, I have to get off in just a minute, so I want to make sure that you have a moment to share with everyone the name of your program, and the URL is going to be listed in the description of this video, so everyone can easily get there. But just take a moment real quick to tell everyone what it is, so that they know that they're invited to join you. Okay, so I invite you to reach out and just connect with me. The link will be here below, and at the moment you can reach out at coachwithaliky.com and schedule an appointment with me right there from the website. The program is Heal Stress and Breakthrough Burnout. Okay, and if any of what we talked about resonates with you and I can help you, just get right back to like what you want, why you want it, and start helping you with a roadmap, and then get a little more cosmic on it for you, so that you really pull in and rein that power that is
here to anchor in now and come through, that's when the real light work starts and comes in. And it's all very practical and pragmatic. So coachwithaliky.com, there's an appointment booking thing. You can just contact me there, and I'll give Ashley the link here, and you can reach out and heal stress and break through being burnt out. And then you'll get a level of mastery, and I'll show you how we can help you do that, because everybody's unique. That's why this particular program, I'm working with an exclusive few people, so we can map your soul code out, you know, map it out so you can really realize and anchor it in sooner than later, because we're calling you to step in.
Yes, if you're feeling called, I hope you will join Aliky and follow through with connecting with her and asking some more questions about this, and jumping in if you're feeling a pull towards any of this, if you're resonating or feeling lighter just by hearing this conversation, if it's making you feel more empowered, more free, more aligned, if your heart just sort of feels a little more open even by listening to this, then reach out to Aliky. This will be posted on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, please comment below, and both of us will be replying to all the comments. And if you're on Facebook, she'll know, Aliky will know when you comment, and she'll comment on those as well. So that's a great way to get in on the conversation. And let us know what your questions are, what you're interested in about this topic and about Aliky, and we will both be replying to that. So we'd love to hear from you there. And thank you again, Aliky, for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for being here. And definitely write comments. We're both very responsive.
We're responsive, yes, and we love comments. So please go ahead and comment, and we'll see you, or we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye, everyone.